Persoonlijk of
Ja, persoonlijk. Persoonlijk eerst.
Wel, persoonlijk... Ik heb dat zelf meegemaakt, dat gevoel dat ik niet erbij hoorde. Ik ben zo opgegroeid. Ik ben opgegroeid in Aalst, in Vlaanderen, in een omgeving waar misschien 1 ander zwart gezin was in de buurt. Op school misschien iemand Turks, misschien iemand Marokkaans. Maar als je het enige bruine kind bent in de buurt, dan valt dat op. En dan stellen mensen nu ook vragen zo van... Wat doe jij hier?
Ja.
Eigenlijk, je krijgt constant de boodschap... You don't belong here.
Ja.
Jij wordt in vraag gesteld. Er wordt naar u gekeken als... Dat is raar. Er is iets anders aan u. Mijn haar was altijd het eerste waar dat mensen over begonnen. Ze zeiden altijd... heb jij je vinger in het stopcontact gestoken? Je precies ontploft.
Ja.
The color of your skin, gaat dat daar af? En ik heb nooit echt heel erge dingen meegemaakt, maar dus de constant messaging van...
Ja. Je bent
anders.
Anders dan
je hoort
ons.
hier eigenlijk niet.
Ja.
En dat van langs 2 kanten eigenlijk, want mijn familie is Jamaican. Ze zijn donkerder. En mijn eigen familie had ook zoiets van... Ja, no, real Jamaican. Jij bent geen echte Jamaicaan. En dat is waar. Ik ben daar niet geboren. Ik ben daar nog maar 1 keer ooit geweest.
Ja.
Ik spreek patois waarschijnlijk met een Vlaams accent. Dus dat is waar. Ik ben geen echte Jamaicaan.
Kun je iets zeggen van...
Iets zeggen?
Ja, inderdaad. Ja.
We could do the whole interview in a Jamaican if you want, but...
Nee, ik snap niks van.
Wat heb je gezegd? Je understand. Je understand wat mij zei.
Stel je voor dat je een taal spreekt in die van mij.
Ja?
Dat die mensen zullen ons helemaal niet begrijpen. Nee, maar dat is echt mooi, zeg.
Nee, ik ben wel opgegroeid en daar ben ik wel dankbaar voor met veel van de Jamaicaanse cultuur, omdat veel van mijn familie hier was. Maar dat ook maakte dat ik tussen... Of in alle 2 de werelden zat, maar niet genoeg was voor de een van de 2.
Ja.
Mijn Vlaamse familie is altijd heel supportive geweest, mijn Jamaicaanse familie ook, maar je voelt toch ergens zo het verschil tussen 2 werelden.
Ja.
Dus en ik heb daar ook heel hard mee gestruggeld, zeker als zo jonge tiener. Vooral was het moeilijkste, je wil gewoon eigenlijk... niet opvallen, je wil deel van die groep zijn en dingen. En dat was gewoon niet mogelijk, want wat ik ook deed, whatever, straighten my hair, mijn huidskleur is mijn huidskleur, die kan ik niet uitzetten.
Nee.
Dus wat ik ook deed, ik was toch nog die ander. Dus dat was wel een heel moeilijke een moeilijke manier om op te groeien in een toch wel een vrij racistische stad, waar echt waar dingen gezegd werden over zwarte mensen, waar het N-woord wel af en toe een keer viel. Dus je voelt dat. Je voelt dat gewoon als kind. En veel dingen die je niet kan pinpointen van het is daarom, het is door the color of my skin.
Ja.
Maar dat je wel ergens weet van dat draagt daar aan bij. En ook weer, sommige mensen doen dat niet bewust, maar dat is gewoon wat dat het is. Hè. Zeggen van, spreek zo goed Nederlands. Ik dacht, wat zou ik anders spreken? Ik ben hier geboren en opgegroeid. En dat heb ik 2 maanden geleden nog maar meegemaakt, nog eens. Hè.
Nee,
af en toe gebeurt dat. Af en toe gebeurt
dat.
Dat
zal nooit stoppen eigenlijk.
Dat zal nooit stoppen. Mensen die mij aanspreken in het Engels. Dat is back to the representation.
Weet je, ik ga je even onderbreken. Drink maar. Een paar jaar geleden, lang geleden, ik kwam hier te wonen. En toen hoorde ik dat hoe moeilijk het was voor zwarte acteurs, om mensen met een andere achtergrond, om een podium hier te krijgen. Ja. En ik ben een van De eerste mensen die een stap gezet over dat. En vandaag ik zie zoveel mensen op tv, bla bla bla. Sommigen zeggen, er zijn nog de zwarte nu op tv. En dat begint te veranderen, dat zie ik. Hè. Ja. Maar toen we zien, er is niemand daar. En ik herinner me nog, dat was een acteur uit Senegal, Idimbengue. Die heeft een kleine rol in Familie, denk ik. Ja, Familie, dat is op tv. En we waren echt zo blij van, nu dat begint langzaam te veranderen. Maar de rol dat hij moet spelen als een allochtoon, als iemand die bla bla bla, alle die clichés. Dat is goed. Maar die taal, want je hebt iets gezegd over die taal, daar ben ik geïnteresseerd. Want ik vroeg me af, die mensen zijn toch hier geboren? Die spreken de taal van het land en die hebben ook naar school geweest. Waarom dan? Wat is het probleem? Waarom krijgen ze geen kans? Die mensen zijn niet gecast. Want alle rollen op tv die moeten komen als buitenlanders of iets, of ze moeten de scripten veranderen voor hen om te fitten. Waarom?
Dat blijft een unconscious thing waar dat mensen bij blijven hangen. En dat is... Ik had het daar juist over privilege. En sommige mensen zeggen dan van... Ja, maar ik heb ook hard moeten werken. Als je zegt van white privilege. White privilege betekent niet dat je niet hard moet werken als wit persoon. Dat betekent niet dat je niks moeilijks kan meemaken als wit persoon. Dat betekent gewoon dat je veel vaker het voordeel van de twijfel krijgt.
Heb je dat gehoord?
En iemand met een donkerdere huidskleur, en even hoe donkerder, hoe minder, krijgt veel minder het voordeel van de twijfel. Dus dat betekent niet dat je geen kansen gaat krijgen. Ik zit ook op een positie omdat ik wel kansen gekregen heb. Dat betekent niet dat er geen kansen zijn, maar het voordeel van de twijfel is voor de witte mensen en het nadeel van de twijfel, als ze gaan twijfelen, gaat het negatiever uitvallen. Dat is wel vaker bij zwarte mensen, people of color, mensen die visibly queer zijn, mensen die moslim zijn, mensen die het voordeel van de twijfel ga je minder hebben, omdat mensen al sneller gaan twijfelen.
Ja.
Dus dat betekent niet dat het zo is dat mensen nu zien en zeggen, oei, dat gaat niet lukken. Maar het onbewuste gaat toch ervoor zorgen, als er een twijfel is, dan gaan ze de kans niet nemen. Dan gaan ze de risk niet nemen.
Nadia, ik ben opgegroeid tijdens het apartheid. En in Zuid-Afrika, we geloven dat Europa een beetje in een ander niveau dan ons. In het Engels, we denken, they are civilized, number one. They are practicing what they preach to us, starting with the freedom of speech, diversity, that everybody must get a chance, whatever that is. I'm saying this in English because I want the South Africans to hear this part, but it's very important. Now I come to live here, I see that actually in terms of accepting the people because of who they are, I find Belgium far behind compared to South Africa. I'm sorry I have to say that, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
Maar de vraag is waarom?
Ik denk dat... wait, let me answer this in English
also,
then,
let's do this
because it's I think it's more an international thing, a thing that's internationally more important. I think that is because South Africa is very diverse.
Yes.
There's not there is a group that is quite dominant. Black people are the most in South Africa, I believe.
Yes, it should be.
It should be. Which is, and especially then after apartheid, people are reminded of it way more. In Belgium, it comes from a different place because white people are in the majority for now. It's not gonna be that long.
I love the fact for now because I see the change in Europe.
You see the change.
Yes.
One in 3 babies that are born right now. 1 in 3 babies that are born right now on this day have a different background than the Belgian background. No, it also may be French.
So I'm going to count you, but you're going to continue. Why? Because I don't want to forget. Do you know Hanssens or the father, Walter Zinsen? Yes.
Yeah.
He's a journalist.
Yeah.
I was talking to him the first interviews we did with this podcast. And I made a joke. I said, imagine that the black people that are here, they date the white ladies. So now we're creating another sort of people now.
Yes.
That means there will never be a white or a black anymore in the world. Then we wouldn't have all these problems about this issue.
No, National Geographic did a calculation on this, and by 2100 there will only be beige people.
So that means the language.
So everything is going to come back together, because in the beginning we were all black. We all come from the African continent when people have evolved, and now we are going back, and there will only be one, more or less.
But you and I will
color.
be dead.
We will be dead probably.
So won't see that.
Well, unless I live to be 112, then I might see it still. But you know, it's so in Belgium it's the majority is white. They remember things a certain way, and now they are looking at it like, whoa, it's going too fast. And so the way we look at people here is very different from
South
the way
Africa,
we look
for
at
instance. Yes.
I think that's a huge difference, because it comes from a different place. In Belgium, it's more like, especially with, you know, like colonization, also the colonization mindset is also in what we learn. I told about the bundle that my kids had about poverty.
Yes.
This is part of the colonial mindset. Oh, we have to help these poor people. Meanwhile, if you made it through apartheid, and okay, there will be some problems still in the country, of course, as it is everywhere. But if you have that in the back of your mind, then it's something else. Then the colonization of the Congo was not that long ago in Belgium, but the mindset is still there. There's people I know that have seen it, or that were born in Congo to parents that are...
So they have experienced that.
That experienced it.
And they came to Belgium probably.
So this is the basis for the way we look at migration as well now. And there has been, a lot of Turkish, Italian, Moroccan people in the 60s and 70s that came to work in Belgium. That's also a different way of looking at it, where white people were like, oh, they're just coming here to do some work and then they're going back.
And they stayed.
And then they stayed. And now we have third, fourth generation. We did nothing with it. And now they're like, oh, they're all living together in one place. It's ghetto. It's.
Yeah.
But that is because we didn't connect.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different mindset here.
You know what I like about what you said? Just everything, the mindset, which is the most important thing, I think. Nelson Mandela once said, people are born to love. They are born with love.
Right.
But they learn to hate.
Yes.
Because of the things we say to them.
Yes.
Now I'm thinking, forgive me, I'm going to go back and forth. Because the reason I'm doing that, I don't want to leave anything behind. I want to make sure everybody there just comes with us and understand this, because it's very important. You mentioned at the beginning the importance of equality. Yeah. And now we're talking about, just a couple of minutes ago, diversity. And you did explain all these words, and they become one thing when you explain them, because they're not far from each other, like they support each other, right? That's the problem that at times I think we have, because I had an interview with Junior Mtombeni, and we said together, man, I have no clue what the heck these words mean. Because you get confused. You get people coming to speak about them, and then you feel like, oh, we have diversity, it's enough. Do we have inclusion? Oh, we think we do. No, we don't. And Junior was very clear, we don't. And then equality, that's the most important, like you mentioned it yourself, that at times I feel like we misunderstand it. And now you talked about, I'm just giving now a clue also to those who don't speak English, what we have said a little bit.
Yeah.
You also came to say your mom is a Jamaican, your father is Belgian, I would say, because you didn't mention that part, but I think I can mention that on your behalf, right?
Yes,
That's correct, right?
Yeah.
Everything you have said so far, as a child who was born here, in Europe. I don't want to say Belgium, I'm going to say Europe. Because an African child has an idea, has been taught, has been learned that Europe is the best.
Yes.
And that is the reason that today we have a lot of migration coming here.
Yes.
And we can't stop it. Because when Europeans went to Africa, they did the same. Looking for something, that's right. And they got that something. Yeah. But the difference is now, when they went there for the first time, a lot had happened. The people that are coming here, some of them are doing things that are not right, but not all of them. But there is no such whereby we say we've seen masses of people being killed because they wanted to be here. They never killed anyone to come to Europe. I don't know the rest behind the scenes.
No,
right?
and in fact, it's world politics that are mostly dictated by Europeans and Americans that is causing this much people to run away from where they came from and coming to Europe.
Exactly.
So
they don't just come here. There's a lot that is happening that we don't know, and some of the things are political, and I don't want to go there.
No. It does create. It does create the migration basis, and it's a lot of things that people migrate for. But the point is, as you said, Europe is as kind of like the promised land for Jamaicans, for example. That was more America. That's the promised land. Yes. You can land of the free, home of the brave, whatever. You can do anything you want. American dream and this kind of thing. For a lot of people, it's Europe. And it's presented in this way because that's also kind of what, especially also America, the greatest and the best and the this and the that. But Europe is not as explicit about it, but it's the same superiority.
Yes.
And a lot of people in Europe grow up with that kind of superiority, even though they might not individually think for themselves that they are superior as a person, but that Europe is superior to the rest of the world because, we have freedom of speech, we have democracy, we can live comfortably here, and everyone is equal, which should be the basis, but then people migrate to Europe and they find out, we are not treated the same. And that's we don't realize that in Europe, because a lot of people, especially white people, they don't feel like that's the case. So it's a very different lived experience if you are a person of color in Europe, or if you are a Muslim in Europe, and you are a white person in Europe. That's a very different lived experience, and a lot of people don't realize that's different.
It's funny you're saying that. I know I wasn't done with what I was saying. I'll come back, but it's funny you mentioned that, because now you remind me. Before you guys came to watch my play a long time ago, there was an Italian guy during the time of my inburgering, and to me, I always thought, number one, I never experienced any racism in Belgium in terms of someone would tell me things or whatever. And I would be happy actually if somebody tells me things. I grew up in South Africa where people were just telling you straight you were black, and I was saying, yeah, I'm black. I knew I was black, but it was nice that they recognized and they kept on saying that. But and then some people, they had stories, the things they experienced either in a tram or whatever. When I come to see somebody and will stand up, don't want to be next to me, whatever. I don't know, I was not there, but I started to think, did it happen? What was the atmosphere? Or was just a thought? Because sometimes we can have these misconceptions. I never said that was wrong, but I'm just saying, I started to think to myself as a South African, why can't you just tell people when you don't want them? In South Africa, we just tell them.
That's what I mean. In Europe, it's not as explicit.
It's a bit subtle.
It's very subtle. Especially in Belgium, especially in Flanders, people, they will keep their mouth shut. They will not be loud about it, except when they're drunk football fans.
Like the ones I talked about.
Like the ones you talk about. Then they will be loud when they have a couple beers in them. But people will be very subtle about it, and they will not tell you straightforward. They will maybe ask questions or avoid.
I was told once